the unthinkable may have just happened. Reports are emerging that a covert American airstrike has hit nuclear facilities deep inside Israel, a nation considered one of the United States' closest allies. As Washington denies direct involvement and Tel Aviv scrambles to contain panic, the world is left asking, has the alliance shattered and are we on the edge of a global crisis? This is not fiction. This is unfolding now. Today, we bring you an in-depth breakdown of a shocking event that could reshape modern global politics. Allegations of an American-backed strike on Israel's Dimona nuclear facility, the site long believed to host Israel's undeclared nuclear weapons, have erupted across Middle Eastern and Western media outlets. What does it mean for U.S.-Israel relations? What does Iran gain from this chaos? And most importantly, is this just the beginning of something far more dangerous? Stay with us as we unravel every piece of this story, from behind-the-scenes power plays to the front lines of a possibly shifting world order. In the early hours of this morning, 2 explosions were reported near the Negev Nuclear Research Center, the heart of Israel's decades-long nuclear ambiguity. Eyewitnesses described low-flying drones followed by coordinated impacts. Israeli officials initially blamed Iran, but then something strange happened. Leaked footage from satellite surveillance, later verified by independent analysts, showed what appears to be U.S.-origin MQ-9 Reaper drones in the vicinity just minutes before the strike. Within hours, the Israeli military activated emergency lockdowns in Beersheba and surrounding areas. No official confirmation has been given, but internal sources claim at least 2 enriched uranium storage silos were destroyed, though no radiation leak has been reported. From Washington, the message was swift but vague. We are monitoring developments in the region. No comment on operational activities. Pentagon press briefing. President Kamala Harris made a short appearance this morning, stating, "The United States remains committed to Israel's security, and our alliance remains strong." Any reports suggesting otherwise are speculative. But the internet had already exploded, and so did diplomatic tensions. It's the question everyone is asking. Why would America, the nation that gives Israel $3.08 billion in annual military aid, turn its weapons on its closest Middle Eastern partner? 3 theories have gained traction in both political and military circles. Internal rogue operation. Some suggest this was a rogue mission by U.S. intelligence factions deeply opposed to Netanyahu's growing nuclear autonomy, especially after his refusal to let IAEA inspectors into Dimona. False flag by Iran or Russia. Others say the drones were reverse-engineered U.S. models launched by Iranian proxies, aiming to spark distrust between Washington and Tel Aviv. Covert strategic reset. The most controversial theory? That this was a secret part of a U.S. plan to force Israel into nuclear transparency amid growing international pressure and U.S. efforts to re-enter global arms control treaties. Prime Minister Netanyahu has so far not directly accused the U.S., but his tone shifted sharply this afternoon. Enemies who once called us allies may now reveal their true faces. Israel will act in its own defense with or without permission. Israeli state media has gone dark on nuclear reporting. Military units were seen mobilizing near the Golan Heights and Negev Desert, while Iron Dome systems were activated over Jerusalem. Behind closed doors, sources say the Israeli war cabinet is divided, angry, and shocked. While chaos swirls between 2 allies, one nation is quietly smiling: Iran. Tehran's state broadcaster called today's events a divine reckoning. President Ibrahim Raisi has not commented, but senior Revolutionary Guard commanders are celebrating the fallout of Zionist American arrogance. This comes just a week after Iran warned it would leave the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and double uranium enrichment if Israel continued airstrikes in Syria and Lebanon. Some now believe Iran may have set this event into motion indirectly, exploiting cracks between Israel and the U.S. The world is watching and trembling. Russia condemned the strike and demanded a UN Security Council emergency session. China called for strategic calm and global arms transparency. The EU is scrambling to host a crisis summit in Brussels. Meanwhile, NATO officials are reportedly in talks with U.S. and Israeli defense advisors to prevent an alliance fracture. Back home in the U.S., lawmakers are demanding investigations. Social media is filled with protests, some accusing the U.S. government of betrayal, others accusing Israel of provoking the chaos. If today's strike is confirmed as U.S.-backed, even covertly, the entire Middle East alliance structure could collapse. Here's what could happen next. Israel may retaliate not against Iran, but by severing U.S. intelligence sharing. Iran may accelerate its nuclear program. Saudi Arabia and Turkey could demand nuclear parity. And the world could find itself in a new kind of Cold War, one where alliances are no longer clear. We're witnessing something that may define this decade. Not just a strike, not just a political betrayal, but possibly the moment the balance of global power truly began to shift. As more information surfaces, we'll keep you updated. But for now, we ask the question no one wants to hear. Has the world's strongest alliance just been broken from the inside? If you found this breakdown informative, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss updates on this fast-developing story. And tell us in the comments, do you believe the U.S. was behind this strike, or is something much bigger happening behind the scenes?